The chill of the iron bites into her skin like a predator's teeth, pressing cold and unyielding against the delicate curve of her mouth. Eleanor Voss is 26 years old, and she can sense the heavy chain digging deep into the tender skin around her neck. The air down here carries the sharp tang of old rock mixed with the sour stink of human waste, a scent that clings to everything in these hidden passages below the grand arena. Through the thick walls, she hears the steady thuds and grunts of warriors honing their skills for battle, while she sits in silence, wondering how her body will be claimed before the end comes for her. Just 6 days earlier, she had been the cherished daughter of Senator Lucius Valerian, raised in a sprawling estate with sweeping views of the Azure Sea near the southern coast, schooled by the finest scholars from distant lands, promised in marriage to a man whose clan dominated the vast grain shipments across the empire's western reaches. Now, she kneels on the cold, slick floor of the Undercroft, the maze of holding rooms and corridors beneath the massive Flavian amphitheater. Her elegant gown of fine fabric has been stripped away, replaced by a coarse tunic that offers little warmth or coverage. The sparkling gems on her fingers are gone, swapped for rough metal cuffs that bind her hands to the band around her throat, branding her as belonging to the deadly games above. In the dim light stretching into shadowy rows on either side, other women huddle in their own barred spaces. Some sob quietly into their hands, others murmur prayers to forgotten gods, and a few stare blankly ahead, as if their spirits have already fled, leaving only shells to endure whatever the arena demands. A figure approaches her enclosure. He looks to be around 30, built like a fortress with broad shoulders, honed from endless combat, arms marked by old wounds, moving with the smooth precision of someone born to wield death. His face holds a rugged appeal, sharp lines that might once have drawn admiration before the scars and breaks reshape them into something fierce. He wears the plain garb of a fighter, but a golden armlet signals his status as a top victor, one who has earned rare favors denied to lesser men. He pauses at her bars, his gaze sweeping over her form like a merchant inspecting goods. "So this is the senator's girl," he says over his shoulder to an unseen companion. A voice replies from the shadows, confirming her identity, Eleanor Voss, sentenced for poisoning her spouse, with her fate set for the grand festival games 7 days hence. 7 days. The warrior's lips curl into a smile that sends a shiver through her, turning his expression into something hungry and dangerous. "Plenty of time," he murmurs. "What's the arrangement?" "Routine handling." The voice answers. "She's available if you claim her. The overseers signed off earlier today." The warrior, Victor Kane, steps nearer, his hand reaching through the bars to lift her chin gently but firmly, forcing her eyes to meet his as he studies her features up close. "Fine quality," he says appreciatively, "not the broken souls they usually toss our way. This one carried real standing once. She was promised to Marcus Harrington, from the powerful shipping dynasty. I remember that name. I ended his relative in the sands a few seasons back, Doc." He releases her, stepping back slightly. "What do they call you here, champion?" "I am Eleanor Voss, daughter of—" "I know your lineage," he interrupts. "But up there doesn't count anymore. What name do you want for these next 7 days? Who you become now is all that matters." She holds his stare, refusing to drop her gaze, even as dread twists inside her like a living thing. Instead of pleading, she asks, "And you? What is your name?" The question catches him off guard. Most in her place beg or break down, not inquire as equals. "Victor Kane," he replies. "Known as the unyielding. 50 men have fallen to me in this place. I've never tasted defeat. And starting now, for these 7 days, you are mine." "I belong to no man," she says steadily. His laugh echoes low and rough. "You belong to your father until he traded you for alliances. Then to Harrington until his end. Now the arena owns you, and it's handed you over to me. That's the way ownership flows, passed along until spent." I had no hand in my husband's death. Guilty or not, the judges declared it so. That's why you're here, not lounging in your seaside home. He turns to the guard lurking nearby. Unlock it. I'll bring her to my rooms. Keys rattle, the door creaks open, and Victor fills the space, his presence making the air feel thicker. You can come willingly, or I can carry you. Walking spares us both effort. The other way amuses me more. She rises and walks. Bible places. Com Colosseum Rama tickets. Com. What you're about to hear has been carefully buried beneath the grand tales of Roman arena glory, the ones that paint the fights as noble contests and thrilling displays. The chroniclers of old dwelled on the warriors' triumphs, their clever moves, the roaring crowds, the massive structures built for slaughter, and how these events served the empire's power games. They spun stories of excitement, rivalry, and masterful control over chaos. But under every great arena lay a hidden realm they ignored. The Undercroft, a vast network of rooms, cages, passages, and workshops where beasts doom souls, and tools waited before rising to the bloodied ground above. It was a dark society of confinement, fear, and brutal order, all to fuel the shows the people craved. Tonight, I'll pull back the veil on that underworld. You'll discover the privileges top fighters claimed over the condemned, especially the women left without any rights. You'll follow Eleanor Voss, wrongly accused of her husband's murder, delivered into the hands of a renowned champion, and how she maneuvered through 7 days in a place meant to strip away her very essence before her public end. If this hidden side of ancient spectacle intrigues you, stay with me. Share in the comments where you're listening from. Because the gladiators on the surface were just the visible part. The real darkness unfolded below. Before diving into what Victor did with Eleanor in his private space, the horrors she witnessed underground, and the clever path she carved to endure the impossible, let's step back. To grasp her ordeal, you need the full picture of the Undercroft's workings, how the doomed fit into its cruel system, and why elite warriors gained such access to those already marked for death. The Undercroft was like a shadowed mirror city beneath the bright arena. Every major venue had one, but the Flavians was the grandest, a sprawling web spanning the entire floor above, engineered with lifts worked by exhausted laborers to hoist wild animals or groups of prisoners through hidden traps, making them burst into view as if summoned by magic. Corridors linked sections for secret movement, storerooms brimmed with outfits, arms, and staged backdrops for the dramatic killings the audiences loved most. Yet it wasn't just machinery, it was a living hierarchy with its own trades and rules, diverging sharply from the world top side. At its peak stood the star gladiators, men whose wins lifted them above their enslaved roots. A victor like Victor wielded more real authority down here than many free folk above. He dined on better fare, occupied personal rooms, commanded deference from overseers, and yes, selected from the condemned women delivered fresh. This wasn't written in law, but it was accepted practice, embedded deep in arena life. The reasoning was cold. Those sentenced were already gone in spirit, their ends timed and final. What befell them beforehand raised no ethical qualms. They were arena assets, distributed to inspire the fighters. Wins meant rewards, loyalty from men who might otherwise rebel, and a handy way to occupy the waiting damned. Women prisoners held special value. Men might serve as practice dummies, but women offered companionship, service, pleasure, whatever the claimant desired, until their appointed hour. This was Eleanor's new reality, the web she had to weave through, with only 7 days to perhaps unravel her doom. Victor's rooms surprised her with their relative comfort. A connected set of chambers with a proper bed draped in cloths, a sturdy table and seats, shelves lined with scrolls and belongings. It felt almost civilized amid the depths. Impressed? Victor noted her glance around. Victor's earn extras. 50 wins buy space like this. It feels lived in. My only true home since I was taken young and trained to kill. He motioned to a seat. "Sit. Let's speak first." She complied, wary of this delay from expected violence. Conversation was a gift of time. He poured rich wine, real undiluted, and set a cup before her. "You claim innocence. Explain. Why bother you with it? Curiosity. You're different, poised, articulate, not the usual despair, talking bought moments." She began. "Marcus Harrington and I wed for family gain. My father's influence for his trade empire. No deep affection, but mutual respect growing. 18 months in, he perished at a feast from tainted drink. Blame fell on me, prior disagreement witnessed, questions to servants about remedies for his ills. But the true beneficiary was his sibling, Julian Harrington, heir to all, long feuding over shares. Present that night. So the brother orchestrated it, pinned it on you. I am blameless. Yet the trial rushed, evidence skewed, my defense silenced. Julian's bribes ensured a swift-tailed murderous wife, not messy kin strife. Victor listened intently. Tragic, perhaps, but it alters nothing. You're marked for death in 7 days. True, but innocence should shape your actions. You're a slayer by trade, not a brute by nature. Here, privately, you choose. You're pleading for humanity. For the man beyond the weapon, you offer wine and words, not force. Continue that path. He leaned back, pondering. I've had dozens like you over years. Most wept, resisted futilely, or bargained desperately. None appealed to deeper virtue, and those tactics failed. Their ends came regardless. Only their suffering varied. He rose, summoned a guard for extra bedding. She'll have her own space. The guard obeyed without question. You have your days untouched, Victor told her, unless you invite otherwise. But this is delay, not deliverance. The festival claims you still. I know. Yet I'll make use of the time. For what? She hadn't fully decided yet. Nights in the Undercroft transformed it into a realm of murmurs and misery. Day brought clatter of training, roars from caged beasts, officials barking orders. But darkness brought torch flicker and distant cries, women's sobs, men's low talks, and unmistakable rhythms of violation echoing faintly. Eleanor's separate palate let her hear it all clearly. Victor's restraint was rare. Most claimed their wards. Immediately, she lay awake, realizing her safety hinged on his whim, and she needed to fathom why it persisted, and if any sliver of escape existed. Dawn revived the bustle. Victor prepared for drills. Stay inside. My rooms are sanctuary. Venture out, and you're fair game for all. The others lack your patience. Younger ones hunger fiercely, sharing cramped quarters. They take turns without courtesy. She nodded, remaining as he departed. Alone, she explored carefully. His books, stoic writings on enduring fate, cultivating inner strength, revealed depths in a killer. A hidden drawer held writing tools, and a small, mysterious key. He returned midday, sweat slicked. They spoke of options, escape attempts, appeals through her father, or acceptance. But she probed deeper alliances within the Undercroft's politics. Victor revealed a bombshell. The game's organizer, Tiberius Langford, rivaled by Gaius Wetlock from another city, who sought to sabotage for advancement. Wetlock had approached Victor for aid, offering freedom. Your survival could bolster that, Victor said. An escaped senator's daughter embarrasses Langford. Aids Whitlock, and your father's gratitude protects me post-freedom. Interests aligned. They forged tentative plans document Julian's crimes as leverage, mutual assurances, binding all parties. Days blurred into strategy sessions. Eleanor detailed scandals. Victor coordinated via contacts. Escape timed for festival chaos with backups. Yet on the 6th night, Langford confronted her, exposing the plot via betrayal, vowing amplified torment. But history shows disruption struck differently. Unforeseen explosions, diversions, Eleanor's opportunistic flight amid chaos. Victor's brutal breakout. They escaped, exposed truths toppling Julian, ruining Langford, elevating Wetlock. Eleanor lived decades more, managing estates, corresponding philosophically with freed Victor. Her preserved account unveils the Undercroft's routine horrors, the countless women claimed, broken, erased, reminding us official history's gloss over victims' truths. Recall the Undercroft's shadows, the condemned's unseen agonies, Eleanor's defiance forging unlikely bonds for survival. Recall that power lies in alliances, knowledge, choice, even in chains. Recall the forgotten women, consumed for spectacle. Recall them.